I nearly died in a car accident. This collision would reposition my entire outlook and direction in life. It was January 24th, 2018. I was driving in a residential area when I felt a hard and fast blow to my vehicle. I gripped the steering wheel with both hands as my car began to roll. Glass from the windshield shattered around me. I felt weightless as I was tossed in slow motion. I was powerless. My body surrendered to the shock, and I lost time. If you've never been in an accident, it's difficult to understand the detached feeling of how long will this last. It's a surreal experience, like you've been caught in a wave, and you don't know how long it will be before you can reach the surface and breathe. You're directionally confused, your senses are thrown, you have no choice but to wait it out. I could only find 6 words that I repeated what seemed like hundreds of times. God, I don't want to die. God, I don't want to die. My car tumbled twice before resting on its hood. I was upside down for 2 to 3 minutes, scared, not knowing what I should do. I had no idea where I was. I didn't know if other cars were going to hit me. I didn't know if my car was on fire. I didn't know if the right thing to do was for me to try to get myself out or if I should wait for someone to pull me out. This chaotic internal dialogue incapacitated me. As I hung upside down like some paralyzed bat, I heard a voice from outside the car. Hello? Hello, is someone in there? Oh, thank God. Yes, please help me. Unfasten the seatbelt, and through the airbags, I see 2 hands reach in, and he pulled me out. I'm a fairly big guy. This guy was 6'7", 250 pounds, big black brother. I just bear hugged him. I said, thank you, thank you, thank you. My adrenaline took over and I began to pace. There were about 30 people on the sidewalk near me in shock that I was alive, and even more shocked that I could walk. I turned around to look for the man that pulled me out, and he was gone. After an accident, the scenario goes something like this. People around you will try to be helpful. They'll take photos, give you their info, volunteer to testify in your case, and if a lawyer was needed, they could give their info of their brother, uncle, or mother who was their attorney. I received over 30 photos from people nearby. After I gathered my bearings, I too snapped a picture of the accident and sent a text that included my mom, my aunt, and my girlfriend. I said I was in an accident, I'm okay, and I sent them this photo. A few hours later, my aunt sends me this photo. My aunt is the family historian. She has all the photo albums and will often send never before seen pictures of family members that she discovers. When she sent this picture of my dad, I immediately texted her back and said, where did you get this picture of my dad from? She said, this is zoomed in from the photo that you took and sent from your accident. I was dumbfounded. My dad died in 2008. This accident happened in 2018. I received over 30 photos from people nearby, so I began to peruse through them all, and in several photos I see this woman with her kid. But the only photo where this man appears is the one that I took. My only response was, where did you get this picture of my dad from? Some will believe that this image is actually my father paying a spiritual visit. Others will believe this is not my father, just a mere coincidence. And a few more will be unsure what to make of it. I'm not here to convince you toward any of these beliefs. And frankly, they're all valid. I'm here to talk to you about meaningful coincidences. The idea that whether this is him or not, it really doesn't matter. But the fact that his likeness appeared during a potentially fatal accident, when I was the most vulnerable, scared, and in shock, symbolizes something meaningful to me. Meaningful coincidences, or synchronicity, is a concept introduced by Swiss psychologist Carl Jung. Jung defines synchronicity as the coming together of inner and outer events in a way that cannot be explained by cause and effect, but is meaningful to the observer. In other words, when moments connect in ways that seem to go beyond chance. Examples of meaningful coincidences could range from commonplace things, like when you're thinking of someone and they text you, to more extreme occurrences like my story. It's when a person chooses to rock their internal paradigm and shake up how they view their surroundings. This could be why near-death experiences are so impactful for people. You come out of the situation moved, sometimes changed. Initially, I was shook. I'm still shook. I'm 6'5". I fill up a car from top to bottom. I'm not supposed to make it out of that. Especially not be able to walk away from it. But by the grace of a greater power, I did. It's a transformational moment. Transformational moments in history were spawned from internal meaning informing external action. A choice to see the world in a certain way and then act upon that world. Think of Dr. King as an example. Given the realities of what was surrounding him, what would justify his vision? Where was there an external reference point to make him believe that was possible? All he had was an internal conviction. And the external action was the response of millions of people around the country that have inched us closer and closer to Dr. King's dream. But often, we ignore these signs and dreams. It's interesting that signs or synchronicity is ignored for being such an abstract phenomenon. However, success is the base by which our entire culture holds value. But how is synchronicity any more relative or subjective than success? For if I were to select two people and ask them about success, I would receive different definitions. In either scenario, the weight of the answer is determined by internal conviction and meaning. Synchronicity can be observed by thoughts, dreams, conversations, sights you see, and things you hear. But these coincidences can only have meaning by making a choice. A choice to be curious, to explore its significance. It can be a lonely choice. In most circumstances, it's just your experience. No one's sharing your thoughts or seeing what you see in that moment. No one there to legitimize your reality. So many of us respond by saying, oh, that's nothing. Or it didn't happen. I think that may be why many choose to ignore these signs. Because someone else may not get it. They may laugh or brush it off, roll in their eyes. Ugh, here they go again. Another sign, and that can be hurtful. You know, we all just want to be understood, including the parts of us that we don't even understand. As odd as that sounds. But some things just aren't for everybody. Some meaningful moments are just for you. Much is out there to distract us from looking inside ourselves. Comparisons, societal metrics, media. But anything that's abstract needs our interpretation. It needs us to engage with it to find meaning or define its purpose. It's a solo journey. Happiness, satisfaction, fulfillment, all abstract feelings determined by individual interpretation. Solo journeys. Synchronicity jumpstarts the spark to tap back into ourselves. It allows us to elevate our human condition. It gives us the insight to recreate our own story. As I reflect on my story, I am struck by how the car in my accident was itself a symbol. Almost every time I get in a car, I use Waze to tell me where to go. Sometimes I'll miss my exit or make a wrong turn, and the GPS will automatically reroute me toward my destination. After I get over that initial frustration of added steps and added time, I'll look around and appreciate a new path that I hadn't fathomed before. In 2018, an external force collided with me. My internal system was renavigated. But through it all, I was kept safe. A moment that recalibrated me toward the best possible outcome. I respect whichever way you or anyone else may interpret my story. However, this is my story. This is about what I experienced, saw, felt, and what it means to me. In this instance, that's all that matters. I don't have a call to action, but rather a call for reflection. To explore those synchronistic moments as signs to the road purposed solely for you. I invite you to reflect on the meaningful coincidences in your life without regard for the validation of anyone else, because that's not what makes it real. These synchronistic moments connect you to something greater, a path worth pursuing, a friend worth reaching out to, and a present moment worth living in. This is the only validation you need. Thank you.